All right, now we're chilling. Now we're rolling. All right. Welcome to Tetron Live. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to those watching this back. Just here to talk about GameStop. At the end of the day, I'm no genius. I'm just an individual like you out there, just doing my own thing, doing my own research, sharing my own thoughts. And the point of these live streams are to just kind of bounce ideas with those watching, and those watching can comment, and I'll bounce ideas back off that. And it's just a bunch of individuals sharing their own thoughts and what they kind of think. And I think that kind of just makes everybody smarter over time, right? That's my viewpoint, at least. But hope you guys like the stream upgrades. I'm gonna have to check on that later. That's something else going on. Not my Amazon package. Something for my mom. A little issue. Got ChatGDP open in case we want to mess around later. Look at Gmerica again. We'll go through Twitter, Superstock. Don't have too much planned for today. Just kind of off the dome, just bouncing ideas, Kind of feeling a little under the weather. I'm going to go as long as I can in terms of streaming, but I'm not going to lie. I usually try to go to 8:30. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Try and power through, but I'm at least give you guys some good info. Got to be here. I worked hard on fixing up the stream last night, so I really want to make sure I do it, even though I'm feeling a little sick. But here we are. We're rolling. Just get the side web chat going. But I've decided, guys, something I'm ultimately trying to move towards is building a PC. That is something I really want to do. Haven't really had like a solid PC at any point in my life. I mean, I got one gifted to me that's a desktop that was formerly used by a 3D designer. They gave it to my grandma, and she's like, I can't do all this. I'm like, all right, well, why don't I just get you like a regular computer, and then I could take this one. But it's Windows 7, it's real old. So now I'm just here on my Surface laptop. That's where I've been doing everything lately. But, I think time's coming. It's time to get like a real PC, especially because I'm trying to try all these games that GameStop's launching. Like, I want to be a part of it, and I want you guys out there to play with me. Like, let's all hang out, play the games in a way. It's, using the product and just making GameStop be put out there. But hey, John Jar Banks, thank you for being here. LM, hello from Canada. Hello from the United States. Thanks for being here. Fresh Maker, my guy, thanks for being here. Paid 1,600 for Omen Beast. Sounds good. Yeah, I definitely have been seeing the what's it called, like the GameStop keyboard, GameStop branded keyboard. Let's just see if that comes up. Oh, just based off a Google search. I don't know about that, but Wendy, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate all of you, being consistent watchers of the channel. Much, much appreciated. Yeah, so their own branded GameStop keyboard's pretty exciting. Definitely will be the keyboard I get. If I can build a PC with all, GameStop items, I mean, not obviously like the processor and all that stuff, but I mean like, the hardware, like the mouse, the keyboard, etc. I'm absolutely gonna buy from GameStop, right? Like, this thing's pretty dope. I don't know if that exactly is my color, but let me see. I have some like off-brand one for my desktop upstairs. Huh, interesting. Wow, that's a good deal. It's not GameStop branded, but good evening, Mahari. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, just browsing. Filter, brand, GameStop. They should have, personally, I think they should put their own brand at the very top here, just so people select that first. Okay, so right now it's just these two. FPS Sniper wired mechanical keyboard white, wired memory and RGB gaming keyboard and 7 button. Interesting. Just to check it out. Has several views, so that makes me think they've been on here for a while. I wasn't really aware of it, or maybe I was and I forgot about it. But taking a look, yeah, I don't really recall seeing this, so I wonder how it has so many reviews already. That many people buy it that fast? Like, let's say. Nope, 22 days ago, 4 months. Let's get pattern to colors. Those that didn't type with, 10 to 10 will buy again. Okay. All right. I mean, let's see. Stop working the first way. Got it. Do not recommend. 6 no's. Let's go. If I don't know, swap nut. Tell me that would be what? Decent keyboard. What's been for option key switches? Rather blue. Okay. See, seems like anybody that's having a problem is like picky things, and like for me, like I don't know. Like for example, this one right here. Like, I'm not gonna be picky with it, but let's take a look at the other one. Jar Jar Binks, yep, switching from a Huntsman for GameStop branded. That's the way to go. Hey, shop GameStop. Ooh, that's actually clean, the GS on the mouse. If they had a variation of this that was like, the keys were like, I think just black would look good. Yeah, I don't know. But not that, don't get me wrong, this is a good looking keyboard and mouse. And for like the price it is, it's a pretty good deal. I just prefer like black because I feel like I just know myself. Like anything I have that I own that's white, like a whether it's clothes or a table or whatever it is, a chair, it's gonna get dirty, right? Like it's just inevitable. It's like the lightest color, so that's why I kind of like avoid white. But it wouldn't make me like never buy it, right? So I just have to take care of things a little bit better, I guess, over time. But if I was an incorrect quarter four, I did see this today from 741 Trey. He's a great follow on Twitter. Always posts stuff about GameStop. Counting sales. It is funny that that's filed in error. Calling it now. Let's see, this seems interesting. Close family friends center, and they want to know more about what's happened in the last 2 years. See, I don't want to get too into this dirt here, but something I do want to say is, people think, oh, well, like, I know there's a lot of controversy right now, and people feel a lot of different ways about, like, guys like Dave Lauer talking to Gary Gensler. And, here, my friends close center, they want to know more what's happening in the last 2 years. I think, this stuff, there's seems to be shady things going on, right? And it has to be talked about and it has to be brought to light. But I understand why people are frustrated and think, oh, well, nothing's ever going to change. And like, I do agree that you do need, like, DRS is a way for individuals to take action themselves. There's nobody coming to save us, right? If there was some big, like, kill shot move GameStop was going to do to just make the price go up like that, don't you think it would have happened by now? And I think it's better that it's an elongated run up, and that's just how I envision the future. Um, but having said all that, I think guys like Dave Lauer need to still, present these things to guys like Gary Gensler. And, this person needs to tell their close family friend that's a senator as much information as they can. Because over time, this has to be talked about more and more and more. So it's not just conspiracy theories, right? And like stupid shit like that. So people start to like see it. Oh, well, there's a lot of people talking about this. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you should be like, oh, I'm gonna just wait for Gary Gensler to save the day. Like that's not like I feel like there's a lot of like strong opinions out there right now, and I'm like, I mean, just like the stock and like do what you can for your company. Ask what you can do for your company, not what your company can do for you or whatever. And to me, what I think is the best decision personally for my shares, I DRS them and register them in my name because I know it's booked to my name. It's not in the name of Seed & Co., the representative for the DTC that would be if my share was in a brokerage. And I don't know if it could technically be loaned out or used as a locator one way or another because it's within the name Seed & Co. So I don't really know what's happening to the share, and that's just how I feel. So having said that, I register my share because I feel like that's what's best. But it doesn't mean like people shouldn't still bring this to light. And I don't understand people are like, oh, Dave Lauer's not asking the tough questions. Like, okay, yes, but like anytime he does, Gary Gensler's just gonna dance around it anyway. And also, like, did you really think it's just ever gonna like just change overnight? Like this stuff has been going on, it seems like decades. Like Dr. Susan Trimbath talks about this stuff happening since like her days in the DTC, and that was literally decades ago. So think about the mess that'll need to be cleaned up for anybody that thinks like, oh yeah, like it's just gonna happen overnight. I'm like, I don't understand that logic. And like, yeah, Dave Lauer is like he's a fraud and this. And I'm like, that's fine. You could disagree, but like he could still like what he's doing. I don't think is like negative. And like maybe you could argue, I guess, that it's associating all these like meme stocks and throwing GameStop in there, but I'm just focused on GameStop, and I just feel like that's a whole little sideshow in itself. And like the fact that people are saying they're directly always have to be correlated talking together, like I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know. Like I think Dave Lauer and other individuals that were in that most recent conversation just were presenting things they thought need attention. It's like at least somebody there's record that somebody said it to the SEC chairman. Like, look at what's going on here. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my thought on all that. And like, I think it's also like a little reverse psychology type of deal where it's like, oh no, we should never complain, never make any noise about this. And I'm not saying go scream from the rooftops or like occupy Wall Street or anything like that, but I'm just saying like inform people. Like I just talk to people. But that's just kind of my thought on that. Yep, I'm switching from that's been GameStop branded. Just recently went 100% DRS. I was 80, 20, then a year later 50, 50, and now 2 years later 100%. Nice, John Jar. Me personally, I've chosen to DRS every share in my individual name. My only non-DRS shares are held in a retirement account, or two different retirement accounts rather. I have some shares in a traditional IRA as well as a Roth IRA, which I contribute to both of those, a long time back. So that's kind of why those are there. But any share held in my individual name, I don't hold in a brokerage. I buy on Fidelity. Contact them, tell them I want a DRS. But that's just me. You do what you want out there. Everyone as an individual. Always do your own due diligence and research. Very important. And I know I'm jacked for earnings because I think they're shorting on the low volume. They'll run next week just to slam it at their earnings. It's their playbook. Makes sense? No, it absolutely makes sense. But I just realized if this is not open here, there we go. Should be updating on the side. I'm trying to get the chat going on the screen. But hey, it's all part of the learning process right here. We're all in the learning process. It's really what it's all about, at the end of the day. It's all about learning. Okay, there we go. So we'll make sure this keeps updating, I hope. But yeah, I like the idea. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think of the chat on the screen. I got this little scene going. And I got this. Those of you who don't know, this GME logo on the right side of the screen here, that was when I was on vacation at the beach. And yeah, I just dug GME into the ground for fun. But any word on earnings date, when earnings will be? Let's see. I don't think so. What I've been keeping an eye on is just GameStop's investor relations. And Eric, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. No, doesn't look like it yet. Whoop. But whoop. Let's see. When was the last one announced? Or newsroom. There we go. And by the way, you guys can sign up if you haven't. Damn, I forgot exactly where. But newsletter. Pretty much you could put your email in. Yeah, so have your email in here. Get the updates from GameStop directly. I mean, of course, do what you want at the end of the day, and this is a pretty dope background they have going on here. But I like it. I like getting an email, be like, oh, what was the filing? What was the news? It's from GameStop themselves, so there's no BS. It's the most viable source there is. It's GameStop themselves. If they don't say it, I don't trust it. At the end of the day, I'll always speculate on it if it's breaking news, from whatever. But it looks like, yeah, there's no official update yet. Let's see. Eric, our fresh maker, new low for the stock before earnings, new 1 year low. It could be fresh maker. It seems like it could be on the horizon, right? GameStop, Yahoo Finance. Let's see. Today we closed what, like low 18? I mean, it's the lowest it's been in a while, and it does seem to be, a possibility. Earnings coming up. The price will run going in, and maybe the price does run going in. Or I'm sorry, it'll run on the way going in, and then earnings will come. Oh, look, it's good, and then there'll be like a week or so, or like it'll pop, maybe like go up a little bit more in that week, and then maybe another slow trickle down. But I would be very shocked if we went below like 15. But hey, I'm not saying it's impossible. Anything's possible, right? But what's crazy is it just seems like this song and dance will just continue simply until it can't, if that makes sense, until the music stops. It's like a giant game of musical chairs, as Dr. Susan Trimbath a long time ago described it when I read about it in terms of the potential of phantom shares out there. It's all a giant game of musical chairs. Until the music stops, everyone's going to grab a chair, and then those without a chair will be burned. That's what it seems like, in my opinion. And I think that's, just individuals DRSing shares. Like I saw, see this article, right? I'm going to show you something funny about this. And damn, I wish I could get the chat going on the screen. I guess it's an aspect I got to improve, but I guess unless I have this on the side here, I don't know. Something I gotta figure out. Maybe I need to do it like, whoa, too much going on. Get out of your File Explorer. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I would have to do it where like, that's on the screen on the side. I don't know. but bear with me, guys. Working through these growing pains here. So, because I'm trying to have the chat like on the side of the screen for you guys, and just overall, have this looking more like a legit live stream, not just like a complete garage operation. But all of you guys here right now, you're the OGs. Like, what do they say? Whack me. We're all gonna make it. I really think individual investors just like the stock, and we'll just see where it goes. And actually, gets a couple funny trolls on Twitter today as well. But it's funny. They put these as the key insights, but nowhere in this entire article does it mention direct registrations of shares, like DRS. They just mention all this BS and blah, blah, top 25 shareholders. The top shareholder is individuals registered with shares in their name. At this point, we know for certain high 20s percentage is DRS. And that was, over a quarter of outstanding shares, not even the float, we're talking outstanding shares are registered into individuals' names. And I think in this upcoming quarter, we're going to see that number at about 33%, which would be if we have about, well, no, maybe that's a little bit too high, because 33% of about 304 million shares, I believe that's the count I had on the top of my head, that'd be 100 million DRS. The number is shaping up to look like more like the high 80s. So let's see what 30% is. Okay. So maybe we're about to get into the high like percentages. Maybe like 29% is what we'll kind of be at. Yeah, if we get about 88 million. So let's say we're about 29, 30% of shares outstanding DRS. Last quarter it was 25. And at the end of the day, it's just it's just drying up the shares, right? In the sense, eventually, if there's demand, just whether it's bullish earnings, the company's showing profitabilities and just strong signs of growth, whatever shifts the tide, eventually, any kind of buying pressure then, when it's, not routed in a strange way or whatever, it's not going to take a lot to move the stock. Like, it's going to take a little bit of buying power to move the stock a lot, just because there's such a limited amount of shares being exchanged, because you have 14% of shares with insiders and a good chunk with DRS. So, those individuals aren't just trading shares on your average day. And then you have institutions which, could be loaning, but some of them have to be longer, some of them have to be holding. So it just becomes like, okay, well, where are the shares? And what about all the other individuals out there that don't DRS, whether it's because it's in a retirement account, they choose not to, they can't because of internationally, whatever it is. Like, you have to remember about all those shares. And you have to think at least double this share count, maybe triple, quadruple, whatever you want to think, in terms of like other shares out there. So it's just like, I don't know, I just think the song and dance will keep going for the time being. But let's see, I made a live stream. Nice. Hey, Anthony G, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. What up, Tetron and all their buddies? Danzo, appreciate you. Thank you for being here. John Jar, check Twitter DM. They didn't show my other comment. Conspiracy. All right, John Jar, I'll check it out right now. Let's see what you got for me. Or I'll check it after, because I think, I probably should keep like DMs private, but I appreciate it. I'll definitely check it out after, though. Annie, thank you for being here. How are you? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, it's the same song and dance, like what I was kind of saying, in the sense, I just think, if I was betting against GameStop and potentially, just way in over my head, right, from that perspective, how I would get out of it, at this point, all you can do is kind of just beat it down more, right? Like, kind of like literally beating a dead horse. So, I mean, but it's not a dead horse because it's GameStop. I like the stock. That's not what I meant. But my point is the same story. You could beat a dead horse with the same story. Like, oh, GameStop's going bankrupt. No, blah, 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 right? And having said that, I just think, then all you do is just keep betting against the company. You keep shorting it down, right? And at some point, you have to understand the tides will turn, in my opinion. And that I think all these people betting against it are going to take the other side. And, I think we're already starting to see it with institutional ownership, puts being sold by market makers, more so calls now. So things are going more call heavy, kind of getting away from the puts, seeing institutional buying. So if I was betting against GameStop, I would start, loading up on calls, because obviously I have to make up against like my short position. And I would drag this out as long as possible, hoping individuals, and again, I'm speaking from the perspective of the other side, of somebody that would maybe be betting against GameStop. I would be hoping from that perspective that individuals claiming they like the stock and that are in it for the long term, I would be hoping, as somebody on the other side of the table, that they're lying. They're just, kind of capping and saying, "Oh yeah, 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 hold, hold, hold." But inevitably, if you just drag it out as long as you can, maybe once the run up starts, people will say, "You know what? I've waited so long. I'm ready to cash in. I'm ready to break even. I'm ready to just take some profit." And I think that is the ideology of the other side. The longer you can drag it out, it's because, I mean, and I also think it's really not so much by choice at this point. It's one of those things like, kind of like I said, beating a dead horse. If you've just been doing the same dong and dance, saying the same kind of thing, all you could kind of do is keep doing it at this point. Like, you get yourself into the spot, and then you're like, well, where do I go from here? So I just keep doing the same thing because that's all I know how to do. Put out FUD. Company's going bankrupt. Blah blah blah. Right? And that seems to be what's going on, in my humble opinion. And I just think eventually, when the tides will turn hard. And I think it's just about delaying it as long as possible. And also just that code a co-alliance with GameStop becoming profitable and just driving success and driving growth and having positive key free cash flow, positive net income over time, positive EPS, all these different things, and then return value to shareholders, buy back shares, issue dividends, issue NFT dividends, find ways to maximize wealth. And I just think that's something that'll happen over time. But let's see here. Um, all good. I don't think even understand how deep it is. I try to put myself in their shoes, and I just think they're trying to not to lose. Posted a fair value of GameStop. Lower the price, better earnings per share. No, not necessarily, but lower price. Yeah, I guess just less expectations over time. Based on the relatively long quiet period, I expect a flurry of announcements around earnings. Bird Bear, thank you for being here. Or B1 RD Bear. I guess that's Bird Bear. But thank you for being here. And I think you're right. It's absolutely possible. And, I've talked about Gmerica a little bit. They originally filed this patent for Gmerica, back in August of 2021. That's over a year and a half ago at this point. So let's see. Intent to use. See, that was last year in August. But where are we now? Our first request for extension of time has been granted. Okay, so see, still working on it. But originally filed, can't exactly find it, but it's August of 2021, right? Yeah, so here, August 2021. It's actually my brother's birthday. Shout out to him. Application was filed, so maybe that's a good luck thing since it was filed on Zach's birthday. But at the end of the day, you got to wonder what's happening. And I do think, and I've kind of theorized now, and if you saw my video today, or I talked about a couple of past live streams, that maybe Gmerica is in some way, somehow tying GameStop, everything they're doing together. They built the NFT marketplace, they built the wallet, they improved e-commerce operations. What if they're trying to tie that all together with Gmerica? And I know I keep referencing this tweet right here, but I just can't help but wonder. I've showed it several times now. I can't help but wonder what this means. And that's what makes me think this. And then I think, well, maybe it's like a Steam, but with everything layer 2, and just how GameStop does the NFT marketplace, and they get like a small cut, but it's all, through the blockchain. What if the wallet could be connected on there, and then your wallet can give you access to, and then the NFT marketplace, you can also visit it. It's some kind of virtual world at the same time. And then maybe you buy, let's say I buy this shirt and it says like GameStop. I get this shirt in the mail from GameStop, and when I receive it, or maybe it gets emailed to me or whatever, I get a QR code to scan, and I get a digital collectible version of this shirt, like with the name GameStop, on my avatar in Gmerica, that I can now jump into the NFT marketplace and jump from game to game, just like we're kind of seeing how Buck Bunny started in just a standard in-browser game, and now you can play as different variations of Buck in the game Curaverse. So I wonder, is that what Gmerica kind of is boiling up to be? I don't know. That's just kind of some of my theories there with that. And I would think if when Gmerica is announced, or officially announced to be something, or what it is, etc., whatever, however you want to look at it, I think that's going to be a big flurry of bullish news, and I think that's the company's plan to just enable growth. They've restructured, put themselves in good financial health, got, kind of trimmed all the unnecessary crap going on, and just are now focused, locked in. Everything seems to be set. We can operate efficiently. We can turn profit as is, but now it's focused on growth. And that's just kind of my vision of what's going on right now. Let's see. Only loyalists will reap these benefits. A lot of people bail if they know that. A lot of us times, especially the people with DRS, won't sell for cheaper at all. I think very valid points. Jar Jar Binks or John Jar Binks. Teddy is part of G-America. Kids items. GameStop is part of G-America. Gaming, electronics, collectibles, apparel. Web3 is part of G-America. NFTs, G-America. We are G-America. Hey, I like that, John Jar. Those are the vibes. We need an insane event to rival PlayStation, Xbox, and Apple. Yeah, I mean that's definitely something I think that needs to happen in one way or another. There needs to be extremely major that inevitably I think people look at it and then they go, "Whoa, this is what they've been doing this whole time." Like that's actually crazy. Like you know what I mean? Like that's kind of the vibe I get. And damn, yeah, I would try and really try to figure this out. And when I say that, I mean the average person, right? That's thinks, oh, GameStop's a silly investment or whatever they say, right? But I think to the average person, if they say, oh, wow, this is something I'm really going to use and just be aware of. It's like, damn. Why have swag when you could have swag? It's that simple. But let's see how this looks. Yeah, now we got a double check going here. Not the best look, but I don't know. I keep just messing with the stream over time and just keep learning this whole OBS thing. But appreciate you all being part of this ride. PSV2 is innovative, but people want something different, evolutionary. Let's see that. PSV2. What up, Silly Ape? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Oh, it's like PlayStation's version of VR. Yeah, I feel like they can't just do like some simple like VR type of deal because everybody's doing that in their own variation. But I forgot who was saying on like one of my previous streams. Shout out to you if you're here. Um, Somebody was saying like, what if G America is like a whole new variation of the internet in some way, or it's a whole new like internet as we know it, so to speak. And like that's I forgot what else they were saying, but it was an interesting concept, and I'm like, huh, that is kind of interesting. And also, Bird Bear, valid point. Could partner with any of those. That's a very good point. They have eye tracking and LEDs display. Damn. Yeah, my computer doesn't want to load. I have way too much shit open right now. That's why nothing's loading. I feel like I have a lot of stuff I need to go through. I don't want to exit out because I really want to just make sure I'm following up on it. But it's funny. I was looking at this too. I'm like, I've calculated the shares outstanding in like so many different ways. Whoop. Like on so many different occasions. But like if we just look at this here, right? If this is the DRS count, or let's say it's like 90, let's say somewhere between 87.5. These are all just, estimates. And we'll see when earnings are reported what the official DRS count is. But when you look at shares outstanding, you look at the insiders, you look at DRS, like we said before, these aren't really going to move. And then you have institutions. And yes, those could absolutely be loaned to short sellers, who knows. But then you're going to tell me only 35 million shares are left, and those aren't all owned by individuals after all this time in brokerages and retirement accounts, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, then there's all these ETFs you always see like suspiciously loaning out major amounts of shares and all these different crazy things going on. I really just all this stuff, guys, really makes my head spin sometimes. So that's why I try not to get too much into like the craziness because I feel like it's all inevitable so long as GameStop succeeds. And that's why I try and just kind of focus my energy now on GameStop specifically because I feel like all these different crazy, bizarre, strange, just things that go on in our stock markets are just, it's all it's like we all know it's happening, right? Like, so you could talk about it forever, and like I just feel like that's not so much my specialty. My specialty is mostly talking about GameStop, but not to say it shouldn't be talked about here and there. I'm gonna just like close my eyes and be like, "Ooh, I'm never looking at that," right? That's not what I'm saying either. But sorry, yeah, this isn't loading, so I can't really look through this. But they have tracking and LED display. GTA 6 in PS VR2 would be insane. In-game GameStop store, you can buy game and it ships to you. That's actually crazy, John Jar. Like that like blows my mind in the sense that like are video games really gonna become like that? Where like you could be in the game and literally buy an item and it'll literally show up at your real world house. Like that's crazy. And that's gonna imagine you can buy from GameStop in games like GTA. Like that's a crazy idea, John Jar. Like I never even thought about that. Like that's insane. And like, what if that is what Gmerica is? It's like little pop-up shops in games. I mean, damn, that'd be crazy, right? I mean, obviously, I think Gmerica is gonna be a variety of things, and it's so interesting, seeing that they put. Nah, not here. Tend to use clothing, footwear, headgear, games, toys, and sporting goods, clothing. It just seems like such a variety of things. It just seems like it has to be something massive. And yeah, it's just exciting. See any updates? Okay, so the extension was granted. But yeah, there's no other real updates because this is live application under examination. And I thought like, oh, they're reviewing it right now. But then I realized like, oh no, they're just saying like it's in process. Like all this is the process. Like these are the latest updates. And like this is the latest information in terms of the extension. And someone actually DM'd me some very interesting stuff. They said there's a lot of ties. I have to dig into it. I haven't had a chance. To I think the attorney something. Like I don't know. Let's look into her real quick. But been playing a new game called Sons of the Forest. It's only available on PC and Steam. Who is my only option? I bought a gift card from GameStop for Steam. Hey, this is the way, Anthony G. Funny enough, Sons of the Forest, I actually saw it. Because I actually caught some of Nathan from Florida's stream. Shout out to him. You guys should definitely check him out on twitch.tv. Isolation streams. Yeah, he was playing it, and I was like, damn, this game looks good. And like, I actually really, really want to try Undead Blocks, but I already know my computer can't run it. So like, that's why I'm really trying to build a PC soon. But also, guys, like, I'm trying to invest in GameStop. Like, I'm trying to pay down student debt. I'm trying to move out of my house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to do all these life things. Like, I don't know if any of like. I don't know if I say this that much, but like I'm only 22 years old. I got so much to figure out, and part of the reason I'm doing this is just documenting my journey, and investing in GameStop and just growing as an individual. And I just think it's really cool. All of you here to witness and just be a part of it in some way. So I really encourage, everyone else out there, this is your own journey. You don't have to make YouTube videos for it to be your own journey, but it's your own journey in the sense like learn and grow from GameStop in various ways without directly it always being GameStop, if that makes sense. But yeah, see, he was playing it. Seemed pretty fun. I was catching some of it. It was pretty good. But yeah, I definitely want to give it a try. It seems pretty dope. And zombie games, I think, are just awesome because I always remember like Black Ops 2 zombies and like, yeah, mostly just Call of Duty zombies. But I always like loved Walking Dead when I was younger. And I don't know, I just think zombie games are just dope. But by playing a new game, oh yeah. I'm gonna get Sons of Forest. Your future kids will thank you. Be able to see where you came from. John Jar, that's awesome. Yeah, I really think, and one day, yeah, it'll be dope. And yeah, I definitely do want kids. So to my future kids, if you're watching this, hey, sometimes you're gonna think you're not gonna make it, and just you're gonna have doubts, and there's gonna be struggles, but always just push forwards. Just push forwards, because here I am on March 1st, 2023, just doing a live stream talking GameStop. But yeah, let's look into Andrea. Let's see. Hello, good day, Tom Hardy. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. I enjoyed The Forest. Sons is a sequel, right? Yes, that's correct. Silly Ape. I looked into it. Yeah, because I was like, oh, that's the sequel to The Forest. Oh, I've actually heard of that before. So yeah, it's the sequel. Seems pretty dope. Understands IP inside out. Smart cable. Okay. Let's see. Represents class. What is it? Okay. Intellectual property. As litigation as role, she offers her clients far more breadth. Wait, so let me read that again. Andrew's practice is unique in the sense in that she is. Sorry, I can't talk today, guys. Feeling a little under the weather, but powering through. Andrea's practice is unique in that she has broad experience in prosecution and transactional work as well as litigation. Okay, I have to look up what is litigation. I'll be honest, I don't know. Or maybe I do and I'm just forgetting off the top of my head here, but I'm not embarrassed to look it up. Dear Tetron kids, Jar Jar was a Sith Lord. Heard it here first. My kids will definitely watch Star Wars, that's for sure. Love Star Wars. I only really like into like the original six though. I mean everything after that, like I've kind of watched them here and there, like kind of forgot. But to me, like the original six is really what holds a special place in my heart because when I was really young, like I rewatched those movies so many times and I actually watched it wrong. Like I watched it one, two, three, and I got to four like the first time, and I was like, wait a minute, I already know who Darth Vader is. What the fuck? So that was a little disappointing, but it was still a great series, still epic. And then I rewatched it like 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And then as a kid, I would just throw on random movies and like I think I had all the discs. I don't know. I was an interesting kid. I feel like that's for sure. The process of taking legal action, literally the simplest definition ever. They made it sound like this whole fancy thing, prosecuting and translation work as well as legal action. Okay. Clients far more breadth and depth in practice than most of our peers. Andrews not only go to clients' building protection the rights in strategic counseling and domestic and international prosecution, but also aggressively represents such clients in court and other adversarial proceedings. Okay, that's good to hear, considering it seems like anything GameStop does gets labeled as controversial, right? So you have to think there's going to be controversies with this patent one way or another. Maybe somebody with vested interest is going to try and pull some strings to be like, hey, that patent can't be approved. Who knows, right? I feel like we've seen it all. Anything's possible. I'm always ready for any kind of news that comes out of it. But yeah, let's see. Okay, let's look agreements, issues pertaining to evaluation of ownership interests, and licensing matters. She also handles trademarks such as evaluations, content clearance, U.S. copyright filings, and domestic and international trademark filings. As many of Andrea's clients have international operations, she advises on the management of their worldwide trademark portfolios and trademark enforcement programs, including instruction and supervision of litigation and opposition proceedings on a global scale. Highly effective litigator, she's favorably resolved and litigated claims, trademark, trade dress, unfair competition, rights of publicity, and copyright cases. Ooh, unfair competition. Amazon. um, Resistance includes successful advocacy and resolution of claims before the U.S. Federal District Court, and inter partes proceeds before the U.S. Trademark Trial and Appeal Board, as well as I can. Whoa, wait a minute, that's a name I recognize. Or this probably is just an acronym. Wait a minute, because that's not how you spell icon. Sorry, too much excitement there. Let's just see what comes up. The Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers is an American multitask group and nonprofit organization responsible for coordinating the maintenance and procedures several times to record the namespaces of members of the Internet, ensuring the network's capable and secure operation. Interesting. User dispute as unique and is dedicated to creating a tactical advantage both in and out of court. She works closely with her clients to design creative strategies that have the best possible chance of succeeding. Okay, interesting. Jackson's, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. How far do you believe they will drop the price? Honestly, I was kind of saying before, I don't really think we're going to go below 15. I feel like, maybe leading up to earnings, we kind of start to fall closer to 15. Maybe hit that 52-week low. Then earnings come out. Oh, look, it's all good. It's all great and dandy. Price starts running. Individuals start getting excited. Then maybe it just comes back down again. And then maybe we do like a double bottom at 15. But that's literally completely out of my ass. I don't do TA or anything like that. But I think, it's hard to think they would send it lower than 15 or just, beat down the price more because it just seems like individuals just like the stock and will just very aggressively buy if that price point happened. I'll be honest, I don't know if I would right this moment just because I've been buying over the past 2-3 weeks. I started kind of when we started falling. Let me show you. I mean, I'm always kind of buying here and there, but there's times I buy more than others, and I think at the end of the day, I've said this long from the beginning and I'll stick with it, is that individuals should always make their own individual decisions that are best for themselves. Never just blindly invest in something, always do your own due diligence, and also, understand what you can put in to the point where you feel comfortable. Because if you don't feel comfortable with the amount of money you have invested, then you're going to lose sleep at night and you're probably going to make a poor decision in the long run. When the price either accumulates or depreciates greatly, you might make an irrational decision because you think, oh my God, I have so much in there. So that's why it's important, to manage your own financial being. And having said that, after so it was, I was kind of like buying a share or two here, like all through here. Then once we started in this little drop, I've been buying. I have been buying. Like, again, I don't load the boat or anything like that. I just buy a few shares. But okay, let me really add a few shares because you have to think this might be one of the last quarters that GameStop's. Well, it seems like they're going to be net profitable because it's Q4 and they make a ton of money in Q4 considering the holiday. But free cash flow was positive in Q3, so it seems like it's going to be positive again here. And it seems like 2023 is looking positive in the back half of the year. That's what it seems like is on the horizon for in terms of net income and EPS. Q1 and Q2, maybe not, just because it's the first half of the year, and they're still finishing this transition. For example, like Kentucky Distribution Center isn't going to be fully shut down until I believe June of this year. So that's still a few more months that's in final operations and final expenses and whatever. And all the old board members had to be paid off, and there's all kinds of things that just really starting. It seems like it's all coming together now, and the fact that prices like this, when it all seems to be coming together, I'm like, oh, I just can't help but buy. But at the same time, to discipline myself and understand only invest what I can afford to lose, not because I think I'm going to lose it, but because I want to sleep good at night and I want to just proudly say, like, yeah, I hodl. People are like, oh, how could you? You put so much in or this or that. Blah, blah. I'm like, because I know what I put in, I know what I have, and I know how I feel, and that's it. But when his channel reached the threshold of allowing super chats, I don't know, Anthony. I'm not really like trying to go for super chats. I mean, I don't know. Like I've kind of like thought about this. Like I really like how Marantz does things where it's like no super chats, no just we're here to talk and just like I don't know, people show up like. But at the same time, like I don't want to say like if someone's trying to give me something, I don't want to turn it away. But like also at the same time, like I'm not, you don't have to give me anything. Like I appreciate support. Just showing up here is like means so much to me. Like you could just do that for now, but I'll think about it down the line. But appreciate you, Anthony G. Thank you. 500 recurring buy on computer share bi-weekly for the past 13 months. Hey, see, that's the best way to go, John Jar. You don't even have to think about it because it's just automatic, right? Yeah, and free cash flow, no FTX bailouts either. The NFT ramp up for wallet and marketplace. All those bodies hired and then trimmed. Yeah, exactly. They had to kind of put everything out there. You only need X amount of people to kind of run things over time. And, a lot of people involved in the blockchain space and NFT space generally seem like their style is to go, of course, it depends on the individual, to go create. And when you go create, then, you want to create the next big thing. So maybe after you've established a project, you don't want to be there just run day-to-day operations. You want to go create because you're a creator. Power to the players, power to the creators. Am I right? So yeah, that's kind of what I think there in terms of that. But I'll definitely show you guys some Twitter trolls today. They were pretty good. I think it was pretty funny. And those of you that joining are like, yo, why is the chat on there twice? So I'm trying to improve the stream. I'm trying to, work on some different things. So I realize, unless this browser is like in the forefront, it doesn't seem like the chat is kind of updating on the side. All the unprofitable stores closed and slimming. Absolutely, John Jar. And I don't think the company will close down stores, but I think if they get into a scenario where a store is deemed unprofitable because they are another thing, they put in retail technology to have a better overview of what's going on in their business, because those running the company before simply just had out of date like infrastructure. They weren't keeping track of inventory. They didn't seem to really care, right? That's kind of why the companies seem to fall off. But now they have that infrastructure, that retail technology. They can keep track of inventories, what's selling where, how much is selling, is that store net profitable. They can calculate all those things. So I now believe in management to make those proper decisions. So, hey, this store is pretty close to these few other stores, and it's not really doing the numbers it used to do. It might be time for it to go, right? And that might be a result of another building next to it or other things in that same shopping center closing down. All of a sudden, it's bringing less foot traffic. All of a sudden, that particular GameStop isn't as successful. And we think, oh, well, that's negative. They're closing stores. Yeah, you don't want to see that, but if it's not profitable, it's business. They have to stick to what makes sense. And I feel like Larry Chang, Ryan Cohen, Matt Furlong, Tall Allen, all these guys, right, and gals, they get it. They get it. They understand, in my opinion, that it's all about, free cash flow and profits in the long term and delivering that value to shareholders and just wealth maximization. Ghost, a homie on Twitter. You should definitely follow him. Always says good morning. Got an idea. I'll make a viral post very informative. When it hits 400 likes, I'll just follow. That funny. Just gooning. But where was I today? This guy. I live in this guy's head rent free. I'm pretty sure. Or I just like trolling him. There were 1,500 stores up for leases this year. Um, damn. Oh, let's see. I own a welding business, and it's just business to cut losses and save on overhead. Ryan's letter to the board, never forget. Yes, that's an absolute classic. When they bought in, or when he bought in, he was like, "Listen, he basically said like, I'm fixing the shit." Like that's kind of the vibe I got out of it. So, but I'll show you guys this for fun real quick. I just said, he just comments out of nowhere goes, "Oh, there are thousands of companies you could choose to invest in. Yet of all of them, you're obsessed with an insignificant company in a dying industry that hasn't turned a profit over in 3 years." Clearly hasn't read the numbers and just doesn't see what's going on here. Why can't you realize how stupid that is? Seriously. Because I'm looking forwards. I'm not really looking backwards. I mean, obviously you can learn things from looking backwards, and I'm not saying there isn't historical information to analyze, as that's exactly what I'm doing right now. But George Estes, my buddy, hey, I mean, they're gonna turn a profit soon, and talking about all the different things we're talking to leading up to this identifies that to me, and that's what I believe. But you can put your hashtag idiocracy. But I just like telling him, George, let's be honest. You consistently visit my page because I live rent free in your head, and I just basically reset what he said, but then like in an inverted way of GameStop doing well. You apes are so ridiculously obtuse. It amused me, bro. I just think funny too. Anybody that still calls an individual holding GameStop stock an ape, it just tells me they're honestly incredibly out of touch. Because an ape is, it's kind of an insult in a way, like, right? I mean, I don't know. You can think what you want of it, or I know in a way I say like, yeah, I'm an ape, but at the same time, I'm like, no, like I'm not. I'm doing my research. All these other individuals holding GameStop are doing their research. They're not just blindly following a bozo CEO who's putting popcorn in Walmart and just thinking, oh, it'll do it all. Choke on that, right? Like so, it's come on, like it's not the same. So I just simply anybody that refers to GameStop shareholders as apes, just simply in my opinion, is uninformed. So that's why I'll just like troll them. You apes are so ridiculous too. It amuse me, bro. Also, I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars selling this piece of shit short over the past 6 months. My goal is to take it over $1 million by year end. This is sad because I'm sure you need the money a lot more than I do. But it's like, bro, why do you care so much, right? You can't help but wonder, why does this guy care so much? This is without a doubt the dumbest play I've seen in over 20 years in the market. It's unbelievable you clowns are still at it, even after the beating you've taken the last 2 years. If shoe fits, wear it. No one in the world has ever lost money by underestimating the intelligence of the great masses of the plain people, nor has anybody ever lost public office hereby. Okay. Said, okay, Georgie, we'll see what happens over time. And I love the kiss emoji, just like clowning on him. But also, I should have been like, but have you heard of AMC? That would have been a good response. And then this guy, guys, I think I have a stalker. Like this is an interesting one. I don't know if you guys have seen him. Where is he? Moas right now. That's literally his Twitter handle. Ape is AMC. That's exactly right, John Jar. You know the vibes. But yeah, low key, I just really should do since we got the chat on the screen here like this. Instead of having it doubled up, let's go boom. Hey, making progress here. Making progress. But ape has a negative connotation, and Adam Aaron used it for his Ponzi scheme because he thinks ape community is a couple sandwiches away from a full picnic. No, you're absolutely right, John Jar. You're 100% spot on with that comment. Because you're right. Because anybody that doesn't, really see what's going on, hasn't taken the time to read about the differences between GameStop and AMC. Anybody that associates them together simply is not looking beyond just the cover of things, so to speak, or just the surface of things, I guess. So, yeah, when they launched, a spin-off like a preferred stock, whatever the fuck it is, right? In the name Ape, of course, people are gonna see that and be like, this is so dumb. This is the dumbest thing. This makes no sense. So when, someone like that does that, and then people are just naturally assuming, oh, AMC is GME, it's all the same. They just think, oh, well, GME is doing the same stupid stuff like that, just like they did a stock dividend. Then suddenly AMC does a preferred stock thing to, by the way, basically dilute without getting shareholders' permission, which is just bonkers to me that that's allowed. And it was based off something from their like corporate actions from like literally like almost a decade ago, but crazy. It's absolutely crazy that Adam Aaron gets away with what he does, and he literally is always just hyping up the stock. It's like, bro, stop. Like, you didn't even tweet. You know what? Shout out to Morantz for this fact right here. Adam Aaron hadn't tweeted literally in years until he came back on Twitter to be like, I'll be doing an interview with Trey's Trades, and he tweeted about it. And guess what? This man showed up to that interview with no pants. Fucking CEO of a giant company. You can't even have the decency to put on some goddamn pants. Jeez, bro. Like, come on. I know you're on a webcam, but like, bro, put on some pants. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but yeah. And we own AMC NFT. Another great example, John Jar. You are spitting facts right now, John Jar. Thank you for being here. But yeah, because it's exactly, it just all was like smoke screen, smoke screen. And then like, who is this guy, right? Moas right now, Moon, when Moon, just all this stupid stuff. Just like it doesn't look that when Moon. See, like, it kind of seems like this account, right? Seems like, oh yeah, I care about. I've considered like, right? Doesn't tweet about anything. Tweets in Chinese years ago. Hasn't touched his account in years. Suddenly it comes out of nowhere. He's like, oh, yes, I'm a concerned investor losing faith in DTCC. Then talking about, post something in regards to DRS and just computer share. Computer share. So it's like, that's what it looks like at the cover here, right? If you just look at this account, then just Moon. I don't know what the fuck this ugly thing is. It's like a zebra horse bee or something like that. But then, right? So he's been active for years. Suddenly out of nowhere, cares about DRS and computer share. But then, like, look at all the replies. Is he saying I'm a high school graduate? Bro, I'm a college graduate. Get out here. Get on my level. But if I don't know, that's what he's saying. This doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But look, he's like only replying to me lately. Like, or it seems like you're just here. I mean, he replied to him here. Fuck no Moon. Liar Ryan Cohen. Can't believe who are the GME boss. No Moon, no trust. The price is still not back to 50. Died, no more posts. That's a very vulgar thing to say, but actually I haven't heard anything from GMEDD in a while. I shop GameStop, find a job, stop gaming. Bro, chill. Stop post stupid tweets. Breaking. I forgot I made this tweet. This tweet, mad funny. I literally should retweet this maybe. Like Ryan Cohen. It's the best you got, bruh. What does that mean? Back to 50 at least, fuck. Maybe he sold GMB already? I don't think so. And then this is when I replied to Dez, and yo, Dez literally liked my tweet. That was so awesome. I remember literally watching Dez Bryant, like growing up, be like, damn, that guy fucking make catches. And wasn't he the one where, no, maybe it wasn't him, but who was it, the Cowboys player where he like scored a touchdown and he celebrated by like eating the popcorn and like dumped it in his mask and it was like a meme. Dez, where is it? Okay. I swear he liked it. Doesn't want to load, but. Yep. I don't know. Can't load, but Denzo no pants. He's literally he's naked short. It's good, Denzo. Yeah, no, he probably did that like, woo, I have to, drop a little hint in there. They're gonna think because I'm not wearing any pants, I'm wearing shorts, that it means I'm communicating about the shorts. Like I can see him thinking some dumb shit like that. Crazy. Ask yourself if they got the split dividend and borrowed those too. Hey, yeah, anything's possible, right? You'd have to think like Ryan Cohen did the stock dividend, not just a good old stock split for a reason, right? And it's a little weird how those German brokerages had Euro like issues and various different things, happen and seem to be talked about, and then all of a sudden, just gone. Nobody talks anymore, like swept under the rug, like it never happened. So you have to wonder if that'll bubble up again one day. But damn, yeah, I didn't realize this was it for GMEDD after conclude our investigation news up by conducting Ryan Cohen's first extended interview. I should watch this back. Ryan Cohen just seems like such a delightful guy. I really hope I get to meet him one day somehow, some way. That'd be just so epic. But that seems kind of unrealistic. But yeah, and also obviously GMEDD started, some sus things were happening before that interview, but they kind of did that, went out. Don't forget about this, Fidelity. This should really trigger you. Some stupid image on the face, money signs. This, make no mistake about this. This could only be one thing, and we all know what that is. And to then force associate that purple circle with that stupid popcorn, I think we can all see what's going on here. It's all just a giant circus, like there's no way people betting against GameStop aren't reading Superstunk and have a very close idea of what's going on and are very aware of DRS, and this tells me it right here. And, the forced association with popcorn, it just never stops. And, a lot of different opinions about Bed Bath, and you can think what you want, but I think at the end of the day, it's unfortunately probably just another forced association, guys. I hate to say it, but that's just kind of what I'm seeing over time. Hey, I wish anybody in it the absolute best of luck, but I think a lot of people just kind of getting caught in the narrative of, it's a company getting beat down and they're doing anything they can to, short it out of business, which I understand the frustration. It doesn't mean like there isn't shady things potentially going on around it, but the turnaround in my eyes simply isn't there at this moment in time. And I think the company would have to do a lot of different things in order to make it happen. Like, it just seems like a big mess right now. And I'll definitely keep an eye on it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just think, fortunately, Bed Bath has kind of become another narrative push type of deal. But Adam Aaron can't be Ryan Cohen, who mastered dropping conspiracy hints. Yeah, Ryan Cohen is so good with his tweets. This man hasn't tweeted in a hot minute, has he? Do these clowns still tweet? Why are these? See, this is also quite. Why, Elon, are these guys recommended by Ryan Cohen's? Someone's killed. Stop shooting down my balloons. No, you made it when you buy a turtleneck. People wonder if that was an Apple analogy. Damn, that feels like so long ago, the turtleneck thing. That wasn't even that long ago. Swear. At the same time, it feels so long ago, but it doesn't even feel that long ago. And, bro, who is this guy? Blah, blah, blah. Broader distribution channels of its new line of microwave ready-to-eat popcorn later this year. Crazy. These accounts just peddling this crap. Like, this guy streams? What, you have a YouTube? No. See, guys, part of me wants to do what it's hilarious what Rance does. He just challenges these guys. He just flames them with facts. But I don't know if that's my style, but I don't know. This guy seems like a bozo. Also, 29K, let me be very clear. I'm not jealous in any way. I don't give a fuck. I have about 1,290 subscribers now, and I think it's 1,290 awesome individuals that genuinely subscribe because they like my channel. I just look at this guy and I just think he probably just, bought some subscribers or, things are pushed or whatever. 11K views, I don't know. Him and Ants Trades, really doing that? I don't know. Is this really him? No. I don't want to click it, but I thought this was from a show or something. I don't even know who this guy is. Is this from a TV show or something? That he pulled this? Because I've seen this meme before, so it can't actually be the guy, right? I don't know. Matt Kors, what's he up to these days? Excited to announce we just launched emojis on Rumble chats. Okay. What is he on there? Man, is it possible to make money when you're crying this out? Yes, get a robot to trade for you. Okay. Interesting. So everyone will just put they're over the age of 18 now to just bypass that. Funny things, guys. It's just funny. It's baloney that's going on. It's remarkable. But yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, it's just crazy, and the song and dance just continues to go on, and I just continue to like the stock, and yeah, it's really as simple as that. And I just realized like I'm kind of blocking the chat with my webcam, but honestly, guys, I am pretty burnt right now. I'm just a little under the weather. I just like I just keep getting sick this winter. It's mad annoying. Just like nothing major. Like I still can, but like I just gotta get some rest and yeah, just keep pushing forward. That's what it's all about. Like it's about doing things on the days you don't want to do them. I felt like I wanted to do the live stream all day, but as it started getting closer to the time, I'm like, oh, it's such a long day at work. I'm tired. I feel like a little bit like shit, but I'm here. It's about pushing forwards. Oh, Xbit's here. I can't end the stream yet. I can't end the stream yet. I gotta go at least a few more minutes if Xbit's here. But Xbit, I'm gassed, bro. I was just saying. I'm tired. I'm a little sick, but it's all about pushing forwards. I'll leave it with a little bit of motivation. Hey, Ryan Sung's here too. Oh man, how could I end the stream now? You guys are killing me. I really don't want to end the stream now, but I'm just like so burnt out, guys, and I just like really. I know you might think, oh, just push forward more. You're talking about pushing forward more, but something I'm really focused on right now, is just really self care because I feel like for a long time, not that like I'm like I don't know how to describe it. Like I've been going through some type of stuff where like it's not like soul searching, but like I've just for so long because before like doing my job now and doing this YouTube stuff, I don't know if I've said this that many times. Like I was full time in school and like work, and then I finished up school, went all in on it, and then got my job now, and I'm chilling. But I've always just for a long time, and even in high school, I always worked a lot, right? Because I used to be a Marshall's department store manager, but reason I got up to that rank or assistant manager, but sales floor manager. Reason and there was times, I was literally the one running, and this was by the way, because I'm 22 now. Think about, I used to do this when I was 20 and 21. Like I had somebody throw a gift card at me once, and I was ready to jump over that counter. I was like, this fucking old lady's about to catch these hands if she throws something else at me. But anyways, point is, I've always just been in like go mode. Go, 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 go. And this world now, it's so fast, fast, fast. And you have to be, though, right? You have to be to keep up and to compete. Because if you don't do something, someone else out there, somewhere in the world is going to do it better than you. I really believe that. But at the same time, like something I'm recognizing lately is it's about longevity. And like sometimes you take a step back and like I have to actually like sleep. Like I just always want to stay up and just read more and just do more nonsense. And then like sometimes I just have to like sleep, you know what I mean? And like and for a long time also like I have a really fast metabolism. I don't know if you guys have seen like I'm like mad tall and skinny. Like I'll kind of stand up so you guys can see it, stand from afar. But yeah, so I'm mad tall and skinny, so my metabolism is like dumb fast. And if I don't eat, like it's really hard for me to focus. And you might not understand that, but like I feel like you could really tell. Like I feel like I'm doing pretty good for tonight because I haven't actually eat dinner after this. Usually I try and eat dinner before the stream, but I found when I don't eat, I don't sleep good. Like you can't like operate the same. And then let's check the chat real quick. Self care is priority, bro. I just came from the gym and meditation. That's awesome, Ryan Song. See, that's the way to do it, man. That is the way to do it. Slows down after 30. I'm the same way. 6 foot, 135. You feel me, John Jar? And yeah, I think for so long I just felt like, oh, I'm young. Like I remember days at Marshalls going. I would go to school. I would I would wake up early, go to school, go to Marshalls, close the store, call my friends, what's the move? Pull up to like a party, drink my face off, smoke my brains out, go crazy, wake up the next morning, go to Marshall's, like still half hungover, half dead, and then do the 9 to 5. Or like, because I would usually close Fridays and do like a midday shift Saturday. Sometimes stay longer. I remember the first half of the days being so dead. Like I just, like I didn't even know how I did it. Like I don't even think I could do it again. Like I would just push so hard. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know how I was doing that. It was crazy. And then I would go out that Saturday night, like fucking crazy person. And then I would just catch up on a lot of sleep going into Sunday and then just vibe out Sunday, run it back the next week, maybe do some work Sunday night. But for so long, I was just in go mode. So I really just, not that I'm gonna stop, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like I'm just trying to find some balance and like I think I mentioned before, like I have a pretty serious girlfriend that I really, really like and I really wanna, eventually start my life with her. And that's why all these different things like just moving out one day and, paying off student debt. And don't get me wrong, I'm not drowning in debt or anything like that. And I've been paying down my debt the entire time I've been buying GameStop. And you might think, oh, well, why don't you pay down your debt first and then buy GameStop? Because I truly believe what GameStop will return in the long run will be greater than what interest would have not occurred from the remaining outstanding debt I have now. And some of my outstanding debt is also federal debt, which, hasn't even been like accumulating any interest and it will again soon. But yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Yeah, you get low blood sugar. I get that too. I must eat. Same. I checked that most expensive GameStop share that I've bought so far. Considering stock split, it was 59.90. Mine was 289. Cheapest 15.99. 259 without the split for me. Still cheap. It's facts. Yeah, I can't remember even. I'd have to look. I definitely bought in the 200s. I don't think I've ever bought at 3. Yeah. And again, this is, pre-stock dividend and pre-stock split. And I think the lowest I got was in the 16s. I don't think I had the luxury of having anything with a technical 15 cost basis. But yeah, you know how it goes. Same way, kill the debt with your investment. Exactly, John Dry. And it's, not to say I'm still making fat payments every month, like on my student loans. And I'm very, very blessed and I have a lot. I went to like a simple state school. I commuted, because I saw it, I, long time in the beginning, I fought my parents really hard. I said, I don't want to go to college. You know, it's all baloney, this and that. And, like, I'm just going to go get a job and I'm going to work and I'm going to put in the effort. Like, you're going to see this and that. But then they're like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, fuck, I don't really know. At that time, I really did not know. Like I knew I liked stocks, numbers, and finance, and the only way to, and money, and obviously that was before GameStop, and everything I've uncovered about just everything about our financial markets. I'm like, phew, how does none of this stuff's taught in school? But I guess what I'm saying is, over time, I just started to see things, and I'm just like, wow, and going to college after, I'm like, damn, I kind of wish I didn't go. But at the same time, I met my wonderful girlfriend in college, so I would have never met her. And everything kind of happens for a reason, right? And at the time, I was thinking, well, if I do want to do something in money, finance, stocks, whatever it is, I'm going to need at least some kind of financial degree. So I just have a basic degree in finance, nothing groundbreaking. And I've thought about, like one day maybe get my CFS, CFA, or whatever those gazillion tests are, because then I guess I could technically say, like, I always say, like, I'm not a financial advisor. Like I could technically be, if I put in a little more work for it. But I just don't know if that's something I want to do. You know what I mean? Like I guess this has just turned into like Tetron's life story, a little ramble here towards the end of the stream. But I don't know what I want to do truly. Like I'm still figuring that out. Like I like my job now. And I'm just like, what I do is I transfer cash and or private assets. So essentially we only work with private assets. So we're actually what's called a non-ACAT custodian. We're not in the DTC. So I'm pretty proud to work for a company not in the DTC. It feels good. And it is funny when I call the other places, I'm like, oh yeah, non-ACAT. And I actually had a scenario recently at work where there was a transfer outbound and it had to do with computer share because it was like private equity and then the company went public and computer share took them public. So I actually had like people in my company like, how do you know all this about computer share? I was like, so there's this stock that I know a lot about a computer share. So I literally told them, I'm like, if you guys ever have any questions about computer share, you let me know. Because if there's ever something any more I learn, the more communication I have with computer share, the better. I have tons of my, capital in there. Obviously, I've already researched it going in. And by the way, if you guys haven't already, reset your factor authentication with computer share. They had some kind of error with it. So they had to have that reset. But yeah, financial advice. College is for meeting people. That's facts, XBit. Yeah, exactly. I met my girlfriend. I met a couple people I'm still in touch with, but really not that many. And, if there's any young people out there that are in college or about to go to college, watching this back or watching the stream right now, or, you even have kids maybe or something, I don't know, that are going to go to college, something to watch out for that's very common now. Pyramid schemes. Watch out. I mean, I feel it's always been, but they really target college kids. Like I saw it all in the beginning. Because here's a story. I became friends with this guy throughout a semester. It was when the pandemic hit, so we went online. We were communicating a lot about the work and this and that. Like, and then all of a sudden at the end, he's like, "Oh, bro, I got to call you about this opportunity." And I was like, "Okay." And then I explained the whole thing. Like, sure. I'm like, I'm kind of happy where I'm at. At the time, I was grinding Marshalls. I was trying to become a manager because I just saw the bread in front of me, and I was, just grinding most. I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm doing my own thing or whatever. And then he's like, oh, no, just set up a meeting. Just see. I'm like, okay. But what should have been a red flag is anytime someone says set up a meeting
without like telling you what the company is or what the meeting's about, but just like, oh, it's an opportunity. If it's vague, just know it's sus and it's probably a pyramid scheme. Because then it's some guy calls me on Zoom, and the guy I thought I was friends with was sitting like right next to him on the side, and then he's like, "Oh yeah," the guy's name was like Eric. He's like, "Eric has told me all about you and this and that," and then I quickly picked up that was a pyramid scheme, and I'll be honest, guys, I maybe was even a little bit burnt. You know, I maybe had been a little bit of this beforehand, so like I just got so dry with him. I was like, "Uh huh, okay." And then like, you don't seem interested. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's for me. And then he's like, oh, okay, it sounds like making money isn't for you. I was like, okay, goodbye. And I just never talked to that guy again because I was like, bro, you did not just become friends with me this whole semester to try and get me to do your stupid pyramid scheme. You know what I mean? So crazy. Yes, any job that's trying to sell you the job is a red flag. Oh my god, OM job training, that's where it's at. AMC targets high school. Yeah, honestly, XBit. You know, it's funny. Another story. They want to do it if it didn't work, and if it's vague, it's GNS. Yeah, no. So it's you know, as a young individual, definitely I still go out. You know, I drink, I party. You know, I do my thing, and like I'm trying to tone it back, and like I definitely not like I don't do like crazy drugs or anything like that. Like none of that shit. You know, so like I'm definitely not like, and I don't smoke like nicotine, don't have those vape sticks or anything like that. Like I'm only for the green, put it that way. That's the only thing but also, got to keep that under wraps. But regardless, um, yeah, XBit, I've talked to people my age and I can tell you a lot of times when I start talking about GameStop, they immediately start talking about AMC. Like, I had a guy I met at a party once to explain the whole thing. He's like, yeah, but gotta be honest, bro. I really think AMC's a better opportunity. And I was just like, I was drunk as fuck. I was like, haha, yeah. I just smiled and I was thinking to myself, damn, bro, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're a nice guy, but like, you're very wrong. Like, and I'm too drunk to explain to you. And like, I'm not trying to start an argument and this and that, but it's just funny. I'm like, because I've met people and they say, like, like, oh, no, it's the same. I'm like, it's not though. Like I've talked to so many people about this. It's actually crazy. And I've ran into people that actually hold GameStop, not a whole lot out there. I gained like a few subscribers like that cuz what do you talk about things you're interested in when you get drunk and you talk to random people, right? Like obviously having a girlfriend, I'm not going to the bar like trying to slide or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm going there to hang out, I'm with the boys, the vibes, whatever it is. So you start talking to people about random shit, you shooting the shit. And for me, I started talking about GameStop, and mostly because I'm just always curious, like, what do people think about what I have to say? Some take it, wow, this is crazy, this is going on. Others, yeah, I don't know. Others, oh, it's just like AMC, and it's like, eh, like you're just missing fire. It's just interesting to see the different perspectives, but yeah, I have met a couple GameStop shareholders out there. I met one in a bar and I got his number. We texted a couple times. We kind of lost touch, but he did subscribe, so maybe he's here sometime. Shout out to you, George, if you're here. He was a chill dude, and he didn't have a massive position, but he's like, yeah, I see what's going on, and I keep an eye on it, and I'm just gonna buy and hang on to it. And I was like, cool. Then there's also another guy in my building. Hold on, let me check chat. Yes, in job sorry. Something's Red Sox. They want to do it if it won't work. It's Vig's GNS. Good old Mary Jane. You know what's up, Ryan Sung? Roll it up. XBit, you know what up. AMC is trash. We've all lost friends to AMC. It's true, XBit, yeah. No, it is funny. I also have a good friend of mine, but I think he was mostly busting my balls. He used to always like text stuff about AMC, you know, like oh yeah they're doing this or that, just anything he tried to deem as bullish, and I always just like laughed and I'm like, bro, like come on, like I know you're just trolling me, but come on, you have to see how silly this is, like what's going on with AMC and this and that. But the guy I met at my job, he works in my building, he actually works for our sister company, and this guy that used to work there with me that I met in the beginning, I started talking to him, he's a tech guy, and I started talking to him and I explained, like, okay, I'm gonna tell you something a little crazy, but GameStop is a great investment in my personal opinion. And this is about a year ago, actually, at this time. Yeah, February of 2022. And he goes, okay, that's interesting. And then he comes back to me and he goes, yo, you're never going to believe this. Because we started talking, kind of just being friendly. Because he was just like the chill tech guy and I was like the newbie. So he'd just be like walking around doing stuff and we just spark convo, whatever. Um, And he goes, "You're not going to believe this. You know, the tech guy that works for a sister company, he just told me the other day. He's like, yeah, I don't tell a lot of people this honestly, but I'm actually a big GameStop investor." And I go, "No way." I was like, "We have to meet." So we literally had lunch, you know, like in the building because we work in the same building. He introduced us to each other, and it was like that. Like instantly, I was like, whatever was going on at that moment in time, because it's hard to forget, you know, in hindsight. But I think it was right around, because if it was around this time last year, that would have been the beginning of March, but maybe it was like end of March. I think it was right around when Ryan Cohen bought shares, and we were like, "Oh my god, like this is crazy! Like you guys have bought since." Like we were both so fired up. We're having lunch, and I remember the tech guy, his name's Kyle, super chill dude. But he just, you know, he was skeptical about GameStop at first, and then over time he's like, "Damn, these guys really believe in it." You know, I'm not, you know, like he's not all he didn't like ever like. I don't know if he still has a couple shares this day. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but because he doesn't work for my company anymore. But what I'm saying here is he introduced us, and we're me and this guy who met each other that works for the other company. Um, he basically we start talking, and we instantly like hit it off, and we're discussing everything. And then we're like, "Yeah, you know, it's crazy because I really think GameStop's worth a lot even without the squeeze." And we were even saying that at that time. And you know, it's so much more than like just about the squeeze and the community and this and that. We were like explaining to him, and then my friend Kyle, who's like the one that introduced, he goes, I can't believe I'm hearing right now. He's like, "You're both saying this is the fair valuation for GameStop without the squeeze." He was so bamboozled. I remember just looking back and forth. "You guys both think this? You really, really? How do you sure you've never met?" Like he's like, "How do you both think all this stuff?" But it's because we were both just reading Super Stock and like the same stuff. So it was crazy, like to just have a conversation I'd never had up to that point. Like that guy George I mentioned that I met in the bar, like he knew some stuff, but like he didn't really read it. This guy I talked to, like, and I met him, I knew right away just from talking to him. He reads everything I read, and he's on top of GameStop the same way I am. So every time we pass each other in the hallway, or like even seeing each other in the bathroom, like just taking a pee, you know, we'll be like, "Hey, bullish indicator." We always say like whenever we cross paths, like, "Oh, it's a bullish indicator that we ran into each other, the two GameStop shareholders." That funny. But I'm trying to tell my close friend about GME, but he cut me off and mentioned AMC. Then he said his dad was a stockbroker for 25 years, retired. Yeah, honestly, Danzo, people like that, I don't even try and push anymore. I try and, you know, tell them. And then down the line, I'll just be like, "Listen, I tried to tell you." You know, you don't even have to give. That's kind of the best part about all this to me, too, is you don't even have to throw out a "I told you so" down the line, because what's the point? You'll have, in my eyes, tremendous wealth if, you know, GameStop's stock price rises, right? And you're just investing in it. You don't have to say "I told you so" to anybody. You'll have your capital, you'll have your cash, you'll have your asset, whatever, you know. You'll have your higher net worth, you know, if you don't sell, or maybe the company's issuing dividend. Like, who knows what happens, right? My point is, you don't have to say "I told you so," because you can just be like, "All right, I'm here. I got what I want, and I got what I have." And unfortunately, you don't have it, so you're probably just jealous now. So there's no point in even saying "I told you so," you know? It's very rare to meet GME holders in Canada. Even the ones I've met aren't balls deep. They just hold and check Reddit occasionally. Hey, I mean, at least there's some out there, right? But yeah, definitely not that common over here. Don't get me wrong. You know, like it's definitely not like I'm running people into people on the street or at every bar I go to. You know, most are like, but I'm also like, you know, I'm sure you guys can tell just the fact that I started a YouTube channel. Like, I'm a big talker. You know, I talk to people. So, and I naturally, I'm a pretty open book. I just talk about my life or whatever. I mean, I don't have that much craziness going on. So to me, like, I'm just like, yeah, like I love telling people, like, you know, there's like my thing now is I just feel like I got a crazy thing you should keep an eye on. GameStop. Just keep an eye on it. I think something big's going on there. And like, I actually had a meeting. We had like they call it like a fireside chat with basically they do like every department that meets with like the CEO, and we just kind of like talk with the CEO. We just ask him random questions, like literally not even work, just like what's your favorite this? What do you think about that? Just to kind of connect. And honestly, I really like my CEO, the guy who runs my company. I think he's a really great guy. He's really genuine. So it was cool, you know, to talk to him. And you know, I was in the office, and we just have like a little meeting. My other team members were all virtual that day, so I was the only one like actually in the office. And there's the chief of staff, and essentially just, you know, discussing. And then right before I walked out of the office, I was so tempted to say, you know, like, I know this sounds crazy because, you know, he's very down to earth. We just talk. And I was very tempted to be like, you know, I know this sounds nuts, and I'm not saying to invest in, but I'm just saying keep an eye on it. There's something interesting going on with GameStop. I was so tempted, but I didn't say it. I didn't say it. But I'm known in my office as the GameStop guy. Nobody really understands why. They're just kind of like, this guy loves GameStop, and like a couple guys that do understand investing and like are into investing, do think I'm an like, I feel like they low key think like, this kid's an idiot, but that's fine. I kind of embrace it, you know. But they don't say. I mean, they're definitely that's just my thought, you know. But I don't know, you know. It's just my speculation. I don't care what they think anyway. But it is funny. Like I'm the GameStop guy, so like if it does inevitably go up, people will be like, "What the fuck? This guy's been talking about this." Like we don't really know why, but this is maybe why. Exactly, Tetron only told my friends because they're gonna ask me for money later, so I can't be responsible for why he didn't tell me. Hey, that's that makes sense. I've been saying I told you so to AMC investors. Now I'm a shill. Hey, that's how it goes, right? XFit. Marantz, I'm here, even though I'm on my way to the hockey game. Hey, Marantz, appreciate you, man. I swear, Marantz, if you're listening right now, I'm gonna watch Connect the Dots. It's on my agenda. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch episode 1 tonight, and I'm gonna comment. I'm writing that down right now because I've been meaning to watch it, and it's popped in my Twitter thread multiple times. So I know I gotta watch it. But that's awesome. I'm actually jealous you're going to a game, Marantz, because I absolutely love hockey games. So I hope you have a great time. Oh, actually, if you're on the way to the Devils Kings game, I'm a big Devils fan, so I'm sorry, but I hope the Kings lose. I believe that's who they're playing tonight. But I hope you have a great time, man. Hockey games are awesome. They're such a great time. Um, Damn Rogers Hockey in Cali. Yeah, that is actually a few different hockey teams in California. You got the San Jose Sharks, Anaheim Ducks, Kings. When GME pops up, let's see Devils schedule. Yeah, Devils actually really good this year, so it's extremely exciting. Yep. Oh no, they play the Avalanche. Pfft, never mind. I'm literally totally wrong. Connects the dots 1 to 5. I got you, Marantz. I'm gonna watch them all. I absolutely have to because I've heard a lot of good things, and plus you always spit facts. So why would I not watch? Whole lot of truth, no financial advice. But yeah, no, I'm totally wrong. They play the Avalanche, so you're not going to the Devils game, but it doesn't matter. Hope you have a great time. I really hope the next 5 earnings calls from GameStop won't be 5 minutes again. Yeah, in a way, Freshmaker, I do like kind of want to hear more from the company, but at the same time, I feel like silence speaks volumes in the sense they know so many individuals just like the stock and are keeping up with every little move the company does, right? So, having said that, I really feel like they always like to keep it short and sweet and just let, you know, it also be digestible because while you may listen to the whole thing, there's definitely other individuals out there that probably wouldn't listen to it if it was 30 minutes long, right? And there was a Q&A. Like I absolutely most certainly would, and you most of you here probably would too, but not everybody would. So I feel like part of it too is maybe they want to keep it simple and digestible just because they kind of understand their investor base and they understand their investor base in the sense they're going to do due diligence and research into any small move the company makes. Like it's like anything the company does, anything they file, anything that comes out of their official newsroom, you know, that they put out, there's gazillion eyes on it instantly, right? And people digging down the rabbit hole. You know, there's just all these different people out there looking into different things and providing their own analysis, their own individual thoughts, and that just snowballs. And to me, that kind of allows them to not have to do a longer earnings call. But hey, maybe they will, and maybe they will when they deem it necessary in the sense there's something worth talking about that's actually happening instead of, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Hey, this is what's happening right now. I think that's when an earnings call would maybe be longer. But this is my opponent. Ape's going to liquidate your cakes, boy. Uh, Stream BNGI. I'm not sure what you mean. I just like GameStop. You can like AMC all you want. Good luck with all the dilution over there. I hope Adam Aaron puts on some pants and sells a lot of popcorn at Walmart, but best of luck to you if you're holding MC. Let me guess your favorite player is Brodor. Um, I don't really know if I have a favorite all-time player. I definitely like loved Brodor growing up, but you know, being that I was born in 2000, I never really saw like his golden days. You know, I kind of caught the end of his career and like it was always fun to watch him, obviously, like Marty Brodeur, but I don't know. I never really had like a favorite player. I think right now, like I love Jack Hughes and like Nico. Like I mean, I just love the Devils right now. Like I haven't actually really cared about the Devils in a long time. Like I'm a huge hockey fan. I played roller hockey. That was a lot of fun. Let's see if I can find you guys a picture. That was pretty dope. But I never, you know, like I was really into hockey, but for so long the Devils have just sucked. So I became more, I would say now, I'm more of a fan of the game than any team. So like if the Devils lose, I'm still absolutely gonna watch playoffs just because I love the game. Like I love the game of hockey. I just think it's so unique. That Brendan Shanahan quote is awesome, and it's so accurate. I'll pull it up for you guys. I own GME. You know what I'm talking about. Um, I don't think I do. Oh, I hold both? Oh yeah, stream. Do you hold both GME and AMC? Is that what you're saying? Silence is smart. It's all about the actions and not the talk. Shorts have no way to attack the narrative this way. Seb C, thank you for being here. And I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, because it's like anything GameStop says will be used against them. You know, when you get arrested, they say anything you say will be used against you in court, whatever. You know, like it's the same kind of thing, but obviously in a different sense. Um, Yeah, is hockey hard? I don't know. You tell me. We need to have the strength of a powerful football player, the stamina of a marathon runner, and the concentration of a brain surgeon. But we need to put all those things together while moving at high speeds on a cold, slippery surface while five other guys use clubs to try and kill us. Oh, yeah. Did I mention this whole time that we're standing on 1/8 of an inch thick? Is hockey hard? I don't know. You tell me. Next question. I love that quote. That's my favorite all time quote. But yeah. Hello, everyone. Ruben, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Gang's all here. You know, I literally said I was going to end this a while back, but, you know, Xpid hopped in. Ryan Sung hopped in. Morant's hopped in. Everyone started hopping in, and I'm like, more people are joining. Like, I'm shout out to all of you that were already here. Don't get me wrong, I still appreciate you too. My point is, like, how can I stop now if more people are joining? You know, like I said, I don't know. I was saying before, if anyone was here, like, a little sick right now, just a little tired, but you know, hey, living the dream, right? Here we are. Gonna go relax tonight, man. Take it easy. See you Monday. Take care, Ryan. I am gonna wrap it up sooner than later, but I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great night. Ruben's the man. Hey, he's here, so he is the man. Hope everyone's having a great evening. Movie air, thank you for being here. For some reason, I thought you said good morning. I was almost about to read that, but hey, good evening. Yes, it is the evening. Damn, gotta have more coffee. Straight ice cold at this point. But hey, GME Stock, thank you for being here. Hey, thoughts on if we DRS the entire float? That's a great question, GME Stock. You know, of course, it's long been speculated on. Um, but what I'll show you here, you know, we have. Whoa, okay. Do do do. Yeah, I'm gonna keep working on improving the stream. Keep this here, keep this here. No, no, no. Had everything so nicely. Why can't we have nice things? Okay, so very simply, you know, nothing groundbreaking in any way, but just the numbers in very plain format right now. So you have the shares outstanding approximately. This is approximate DRS of what I think it could potentially be in the next coming quarterly earnings report, kind of based on the DRS bot, etc. Then you have the insiders, then you have the institutions, right? So in theory, you know, there's only this 35 million shares left, right? But institutional shares are being loaned out to short sellers. And on top of it, who's to say institutions won't then sell when it comes time if need be? So I really feel like the number, in my opinion, to focus on or what to really look at that you know for certain is DRS shares, because you know it's individuals liking the stock, having it registered to their name, and they went out of their way to go ahead and have that happen. And insiders, you know, that includes Ryan Cohen. So having said that, I guess we should put percentages here. I'll say total. Then I'll do percentage. We can do that real quick. Having said that, I personally focus on this number combined. So if we do like DRS plus insiders. So I guess what I'm saying is something could happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if nothing really did because I just feel like institutional shares are such a mystery. You know, they can be loaned out, they can be used as to locate. Like, it's just so much crap has got on the simplest way to say it for so long that I don't just simply trust the float to be registered and for it to just be said and done. Like, I don't think it'll be that simple, but I think at that point, that's shining a lot of light. You know, a counterpoint to that, what everything I'm saying is, it shines a lot of light on what's really going on here. And then maybe, you know, some other sources outside of individuals who just like GameStop start being like, wait a minute, there's a play here because a lot of the shares are locked up with individuals who are seem to be invested in the long term. So even if people come for the play of trying to trade it, like somebody from the complete outside might be like, well, oh my God, another January 2021, buy, buy, buy. And, you know, that's going to create short-term rip studying it and just knowing what I have over this elongated period of time. So let's see, DRS plus insiders. And I was messing with these numbers, so I do apologize if, let's see, I have it somewhere else. If insider's not right. 46, yeah, no, that's about right, 47. So that's total, and that's, you know, of this 44%. So we'd put this all, boom. What about this? No, it's 100% of shares. So I really just focus on shares outstanding just because I feel like it's so hard to trust like institutional shares, honestly. But like just to think like when you're doing some math, like I just think math is awesome because I've always been a math guy growing up. I was never big on reading. Although I wish, now I cared about it more looking back in hindsight, just because I wish I could, I feel like I could speak pretty well, but I feel like my writing skills aren't always great, and my grammar is just terrible. Honestly, like at work, like always writing emails, like it's like I just bugging about my grammar. But then I'm like, well, where are the grammar police here? As long as my message is clear and concise, I think it's all good. But yeah, it's just some random things. Um, yeah, so we do all this. So think about this for a second. If this is the amount of DRS shares, 28.69% of a company that right now is worth $5.5 billion with a B, right? $1 billion. And when you take this number and multiply it by this, you have this much, like for, this is for, market cap, and this is ugly because it's just all off the dome here. Market cap. But then this is how many in billions DRS holders. There's over $1.57 billion worth of shares registered in individuals' names. And that's at a market valuation of 5.5 billion. Put this number at 8. Put this number at 20. That's how much worth of DRS. And let's say, I would say 8 is a good number because I feel like it was floating around that market cap for a while. So probably over $2 billion worth of shares have been directly registered. Like, just think about how insane that is for a moment. But let me check chat. Um, it's been a long day, rough. Truck broke down. Walked a mile to AutoZone. They gave me a ride back. But weirdest thing, saw a lady chasing a cow on a country road. Hey, Ruben, sounds like quite the day. Sorry I had to go through all that shit. But hey, at least you had a funny story to come out of it. Not every day you see a lady chasing a cow down a country road. That's definitely something, not something I'd see out here in New Jersey, where I'm at. But sounds like quite the time. Just subbed. Great work, man. One last question. Do you think GameStop needs to close some stores to get profitable? Or do you know how many stores of GameStop are profitable? Just wondering. Now you're good, GME stock. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate that. Here I'm always just, if you don't know my channel, share thoughts and opinions, stuff off the dome. Just I'm thinking out loud, speaking out loud, so other individuals can do the same, such as yourself. You put things in chat. It gives me theses, speculations, whatever. I can just kind of speak on what you say, and then you can formulate thoughts based on what I say. And it's just bouncing ideas back and forth. But to answer your question, I don't think GameStop will close more stores unless they deem individual stores are not profitable. And you would think, okay, well, how are they going to do that? So they implemented something called SAP Retail Technology. I believe that's what it was called, top of my head. But essentially, for a long time, their infrastructure was long out of date. And they didn't really have this to keep track of inventories, what sells where, like what kind of products are more favorable on the East Coast versus the West Coast, whatever. So I think now that they have this technology, it's implemented over time. It gets smarter with like technology generally nowadays gets smarter the more data there is. So having said that, I feel like they have a good overview and a good idea now that Ryan Cohen and other executives have been, kind of operating the company well over a year now. They have an idea of how things go and can really understand how to read and analyze the numbers. So I think they're able to now see, hey, these are the handful of stores that need to be closed. Reasons are X, Y, Z, and they'll have very concise reasons as to why they would have to close any future stores. I don't think it's in their game plan, but I think their executives running the company as a business and understand if it's a store with another store in relatively close proximity, and maybe this store that's struggling a little bit now, it used to have something major next to it that closed down and it's bringing less foot traffic. Even if it's something silly like a supermarket, maybe the supermarket changed locations. All of a sudden, that shopping center might not have the same foot traffic it once did. So Maybe all of a sudden sales are down a little bit there, but then maybe there's another GameStop in that same vicinity about 15 minutes away in a mall. And you know, if you close that store, anybody that was loyal to that GameStop you're closing is probably going to go to that mall one, and that mall one's still profitable and it's still another store in the area. So my point is, I think they'll use their data that they're collecting and their technology to make those decisions of whether or not they'll have to close stores. I don't think it's, in the cards right now, but I think if need be, it absolutely happens just to maintain the company's focus of profitability. We've heard it on the previous earnings call. Focus companies now focusing on profitability and getting to net profitable overall. And we saw it with this as a start with free cash flow positivity in the previous quarter. See stories that are run down and in bad areas. Demo in older people area for sure need to be closed down. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy the things that go on out there, right? Or was it? Oh, I see stores that are run down in bad areas. Demographic and older people area that for sure need to be closed down. Yeah, I think it's certainly possible, Ruben. But because of predatory debt, good night, y'all. All right, streams. Take care. Thanks for coming. But um, yeah. So if that's the case, Ruben, I think those stores inevitably will close, and maybe they just don't see it yet because that data just simply isn't there, or it just simply is being accumulated over time, so to speak. Just because, again, the like an example of this is Tesla's like technology for self-driving. Teslas that drive on like highways, like Teslas know highways better than any other local road typically, just generally speaking, because a Tesla, when it drives down that road, whatever data it collects, whenever objects are around or whatever, it sends it to its network. So all the other Teslas get it too. So as more people drive Teslas over time, they continuously collect data of all the different random roads, no matter where you are in the world, and it's getting uploaded to the network. So inevitably, what they want to do is, the full self-driving, and full self-driving in my eyes, if somebody's going to pull it off, it's Elon Musk. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think that's, kind of the same idea. It's not the best analogy, I guess, but I think GameStop will, have all of their data from the stores and what's selling, in terms of inventory, all these different things. They're, have a team of people now, I'm sure they're able to look at these things and make, executive decisions, such as executives do, instead of being overpaid, overcompensated executives like we might have seen in the past, right? But thanks. Love the dip. Hope it keeps going lower. Need to add more. Runaway both holder. Yeah, it's facts, XBit. But don't worry, games GME stock. XBit's not talking about you. I think XBit's referring to stream. But yeah, no, I agree with you, GME stock, in the sense I never want to see the stock price go down, right? Who does? But at the same time, I'm like, an opportunity to buy more. Fine, I guess I just have to buy more. I didn't know I'd be blessed with this. That's how I look at it. Because I feel like once GameStop goes back to the higher 20s, to me, it's not to say I'll never buy it again. I'm just saying like I'll be like, damn, I've been averaging down, pretty aggressively, so I'll probably chill for a while. But it's also always about what's just going on with the company in the moment. And right now, I'm just looking at the valuation like, damn, you're right. If this thing keeps going down, profitability's on the horizon. G America's on the horizon. Web3, it's in place. The ball is rolling. So like, what better time is there now, right, to invest in GameStop? So that's what I kind of tell people too. That anybody that's kind of interested, I'm like, listen, if you've been kind of interested all this time, I'm not telling you what to do, but just look at what's happening and understand. There might be a narrative shift soon. Might be, of course. Though I always encourage individuals, always do your due diligence and your research. It's important. You absolutely have to. If you don't, you cut corners, you'll cheat yourself. It'll burn you one way or another down the line. You might be holding GameStop right now and you think, oh, well, I watch your videos. That's my due diligence. And that's what I used to think too when I was like in high school. Like, oh, I watch YouTube videos. That's my due diligence for investing in stocks. But no, you have to go into the numbers. You got to dig into things like this. The 10Q. It could be a little tedious, but you got to read it. You got to read it. I'm telling you, it's worth your time. If you don't understand every aspect, you look up different things. You go, okay, well, what is shareholders equity? Google it. It's just start like that. Ask a Chat GPT, right? Give it Chat GPT can give you a pretty decent. I can't load more crap on my computer right now. I have too much shit open, but it can pretty much answer anything in a pretty good way, right? So it's always important to read things and just you might also look at this and go, "Oh, I don't know it," or a lot of I feel like how people are taught to think now, or not taught to think, just narratives out there, right? Oh, I just as soon as I don't know that. Oh, I got it's just a lot of numbers. Oh, it's out of my wheelhouse. Oh, not for me, not for me, not for me. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are holding GameStop stock right now that never thought investing was for them. But guess what? You're here. You've held the stock, and you're doing a lot better, I feel like, than most people because a lot of people trade and get caught up in the noise and lose money, right? I know I've been there. I've absolutely been there. I've been messing with the stock market since I was 15 years old, so I've made tons of mistakes. I've messed with Forex. I've tried options. I've tried it all one way or another, just gooning around. And fortunately, I was doing it at a young age where I didn't have any real money, so I could never put myself in a position where I could lose a dramatic amount, afford to lose. I couldn't afford to lose or something like that. And I never ever mess with margin. Not for me. But my point is, don't fall into the narrative of, oh, I'm too stupid to read a balance sheet, or oh, I don't know anything about income statements, or oh, I can't keep up myself. I need Tetron to break it down. I'm just a regular guy, and I just learned this from reading it over and over and just continually trying. I looked through this stuff in the beginning. When I first started getting interested in investing, I remember looking at balance sheets and being so overwhelmed. Like, what are all these freaking individual lines? Isn't it supposed to just be like profit, gross profit, net profit, right? Like, what's all this stuff in between? But you just got to learn it and you read over time. And I'm still constantly learning. There's still so many aspects on this thing, that I can't name off the top of my head. And until I can name or, describe something without having to, have sources to refer to, I feel like you don't truly really know something, right? Like, I could say, I know what something is, but I feel like you don't truly really know it unless you can explain it without, being like, oh, but it's like this or that kind of like, and unless you can say, no, it's like this, and then the next step would be this. The reason being would be this. So, having said that, that's why I'm always saying, GME thoughts, because I'm always just thinking, speculating. And also, a lot of these things, I'm not saying I have all these things mastered. A lot of these things I have to research over time and repeatedly look up so I can be able to explain it inevitably, or that's always my goal, without having to reference definitions prior to or whatever it may be. So yeah, that's just kind of some of my thoughts there. Um, What's your thoughts about Gmerica and have not much about it? ChatGPT has financial advice and you need to sign up. Do you, XBit? But no, GME stock. I talked about it a little bit before if you want to go back, or I talked about it on my last live stream too. I actually put out a video today too. But I have to talk about it here and there, so I'll talk about it again a little bit. But then I am going to wrap it up for today because I know I said this like literally 30 minutes ago I was going to wrap it up, but here we are because everyone started popping in, so I couldn't leave. It's just the vibes. Talking mad quick, running out of breath. But Gmerica, I have this crazy theory that, speculative, because we see here clothing, footwear, headgear, games, toys, and sporting goods clothing. What if it's some variation of Steam, but it's like a metaverse in a sense? Because I always reference this tweet here, and you can tell me what you think of this tweet if you'd like. Is this it? No, where is it? Gmerica is our favorite place to shop. I hope it comes up on Google because this was the exact tweet. Gmerica Twitter. Damn. But oh yeah, when they launched their Gmerica collection. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about it. I wonder if that'll have to come to be anything. But what I was saying here is maybe it's some variation of Steam, or I guess Steam is just like a random like aspect of it in a sense. But what I mean is like a client, where you can like launch games through. Maybe Gmerica ties everything together, right? Ooh, gotta plug this in. Where it's like the NFT marketplace, the GameStop wallet, the improved e-commerce operations are now all under one roof, one way or another of some kind. And maybe I buy this shirt, right? And it says GameStop right here. Maybe I'll buy this shirt, and when I get it delivered to me, there's going to be a QR code. I can scan it, and I'll get a digital collectible or an NFT, whatever you want to call it, um, that now I would be able to put on my avatar in Gmerica, and I could go to Gmerica. That's the metaverse. Or and when I say metaverse, I mean I use that very lightly in the sense like you could like, for example, if like any of you individuals here were in Gmerica, I could like have my avatar walk up to your avatar, and then we could like hop into a game together. And then maybe that game is on a game either GameStop created, or it's like Curiverse that is on the NFT marketplace with its in-game items, based on it. And for example, like Buck Bunny is kind of an example of this. And like I guess I'm saying a lot of different things here, but I think it's a possibility. It's everything coming together, and maybe real world physical items. You also like when you're buying them, you're gonna get them in the Web3 world as well. Maybe that's what Gmerica is. But yeah, I don't know. Just kind of some thoughts there. Learning new skills versus trying to teach them. Exactly, XBit. You know what I'm saying. GameStop has an NFT collection called Gmerica, right? Yep. Let's see right here. I bet those go for a ton now. Remember there was a drawing rendering about GME Cafe with lounge and bar area? Can't wait for the GME whiskey or beer. That would be awesome. That would be awesome, Ruben. I think a lot of us here would be getting that beer or whiskey if they came out with one, right? That would be super, super dope. Um, I just have way too much shit open right now. This is not loading. And I still have to play Curiverse too. That's the thing, guys. I really got to get like a computer so I can play all these games. Scully's not what I was looking for, but Gmerica. Gmerica times Metaboy taking a stroll through Gmerica. Let's see if we get any hints from here. New York, Seattle, Boston, Hollywood, Cape Canaveral. Yeah, maybe it's time to buy one of these. I don't know. I don't know though. Thing is, like, I'd rather hold the GameStop stock. You know what I mean? I'd rather put $100 something into GameStop stock than one of these. I mean, don't get me wrong, but that's just me right now in this moment. But this one's dope, the New York one. I really like that. But I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on them, because at the same time, Ethereum does seem to be relatively low right now in terms of what I think it's worth long term, potentially. But yeah, I think we are really early on in NFT technology. I think you're right, XBit, and I've kind of said it before, and I'll say it again. I think the whole term NFT is now just stained. It has to be called something else, like digital collectible, digital assets, whatever you want to see it as. But I know people who literally just like I said, yeah, GameStop, they're doing something with NFTs again. Like, oh no, no, oh NFT, oh, like, but you don't understand, like they're not selling. Like, and we were also talking about like on Monday's stream. Oh shit, shit, shit. No, no, no. Don't die, don't die. Where's my charger? If this dies, I apologize, guys.